On.
Yes.
Okay, and I will check that I can talk to everyone. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Rick. I'm fine.
Okay, good, good. You can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, great. Hello, Paula. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, how's your week been?
It's okay, I think. Yeah, so.
Okay, still busy. You are still
Yes.
busy.
We still have
Okay.
a-
You are always busy. Never changes. All right. Hello, Tuk Lin. How are you?
I'm great.
Good, good. I hear Mrs. Ha tells me you're very good at math, Tuk Lin.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. And you tutor some math for some other students. Is that right? You help some other students that their math? Good, good. It's good to have another teacher in the class. Okay. Hello, Cho Zhang. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good, good. Now, Mrs. Hard tells me you go to an international school. Is that right, Cho Zhang?
Yes.
Okay. So all your lessons are in English.
Actually, my grade is follow the bilingual lesson.
Bilingual. Okay. Okay. So you do both what? English and Vietnamese.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good. Hello, Zung Ha. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. What can I see on the wall behind you, Zung Ha? What can I see?
It's just a window.
Oh, it's a window.
And
It looked like a picture, but it's a window, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a
Okay.
window.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, Hakan. Hakan.
Hello,
Hello. How are you, Hakan?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Sorry, Hakan, I can't see you very well. Very dark where you are. And I can see your head in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you move the camera a little bit, please?
oh, wait.
Okay. Thank you, Hakan. That's a little bit better. Okay, that's a bit better. Thank you, Hakan. I'm just waiting for Tone is connecting. Just while I'm waiting for Tone, so what we're going to do this afternoon is we're just going to do a short talking exercise. I'm going to ask each of you to tell me about one thing that you have done or one thing that has happened to you this week. Okay, I just want 2 or 3 sentences in English, of course, about one thing you have either done or one thing that has happened to you this week. All right, going to start with you shortly, Michael. All right, so I'll give you a moment to think about it. You can think about it for a moment. Okay, Tone, can you hear me? Hello, Tone.
Rick.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks.
Good, good. Now, did you see the corrections to your writing that I sent you?
Yes, I have.
Good, okay. So would you like to talk about this for a couple of minutes after the class?
Yeah.
We can discuss this.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, Michael.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Please tell me one thing that you have done or one thing that has happened to you in the last week.
Well, in the last week, I got a midterm semester test with math, and I do it pretty good. Now I'm feeling
Okay,
super
stop, Michael. Okay, so in this week, before that, I had midterm
yeah.
semester. Remember, we're talking past tense.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, remember, I got means it maybe is coming up in the future. So I had midterm semester tests, and I did pretty well. I
Yeah.
did pretty well. Okay, please continue.
I did it pretty well. Now I'm feeling pretty supercalifragisticexpialidocious.
Where did you learn that? Michael?
I
That's
just
very
got it
good.
from the dictionary.
Oh, did you? Did you do you know where this comes from? This word?
From a movie.
Yes, it's from a movie, from a story. Very old movie from the 1960s. Mary Poppins movie. Yeah, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's very good, Michael.
Thank you.
That's very good. Okay, thank you, Michael. So just remember, please, to talk in the past tense when you are talking, of course, about things that have happened in the past. Thank you. Okay, who can I see now? Putan. Hello, Putan.
Hello, Mr. Rick.
How are you, Putan?
I'm good.
Good. Welcome to class. So I've just started our first exercise for today. I'm asking everyone to tell me about one thing that they have done or has happened to them this week. Okay. Hello, Paula. It's your turn, please.
In the past week, I also have had my midterm semester tests and exams, but until recently, I think I've passed most of them with flying colors, so I feel really relieved about that.
That's great. Okay. There was just one thing you said. So firstly, that was great. Using flying colors is very good, Paula. Okay, you use that correctly. Excellent. Okay. For everybody else, if you pass something with flying colors is an idiomatic expression which means you have done very well. Okay, so if you pass something with flying colors, colors, by the way, is an old meaning in English for a flag. Okay, when in old times, people used to win a war or some battle, they would put up their flag, okay, to show they had won. Does this make sense, Michael? And
Yeah.
putting up the flag in old language is called flying your colors. Okay, so it means you have won when you put up the flag. And the old expression for that is called flying your colors. So these days, they don't talk about that anymore, but passing someone with flying colors means you have had a victory. You have won something. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so if, as Paula said, you pass something with flying colors means you have done very well. I passed with flying colors. Okay, so what you said to me, Paula, you said, until recently, I thought I passed everything with flying colors. Is that right? I think that's what you said to me.
Yeah.
You made it sound like, but maybe something has changed because you used the words, until recently, I thought I passed everything with flying colors.
Yeah.
So you would say maybe,
Yeah, until now or recently, just recently.
yeah. So you would say, recently I found out I passed with flying colors. You don't need to use the word until. I'm sure I heard you use the word until, which you don't need.
I do this.
No, just recently I found out I passed with flying colors. Okay, great English. Thank you, Paula. Tuk Lin, your turn, please.
Last week I have the final exam about the criminal law. But
Did you? Last week I had the final exam about criminal law. Last week I had the final exam about criminal law. Okay, please continue.
Next.
Yeah, please
About
give
the-
me another sentence about criminal law. So you said last week I had the final exam about criminal law. So tell me, how did it go?
It's really hard, so I can do it well.
Okay. So remember, you're talking past tense here. So you need to say, it was really hard. It was really hard. Not
were-
yeah, it was.
it was really hard, so
Good.
I didn't.
It was
Yeah.
really hard, so
So
I
didn't.
no okay. So did you get a good result? Were you happy with
No.
your no,
No,
you didn't
I
you
feel really
didn't
bad.
do you I'm sorry. Oh, I'm very sorry for you.
No.
Okay, so last week, and you would say, and I didn't do very well. I didn't, or
Didn't.
which is short for did not, of course. I didn't do very well.
I didn't do very well.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Perfect English. Okay, so maybe you didn't do very well at that, but your sentence was perfect. Okay, your English sentence was, okay, so last week I had my criminal law exam. I didn't do very well. All right, I'm sorry to hear that. So do you get the chance to do it again sometime?
I think it's not.
Okay,
I
you
have
don't
the
think
chance
you
to
will?
do it again.
Ah, you don't get the chance to do it again.
Yes, but
Okay.
I will try my best in the next time.
Ah, good. I will try my best next time. You don't need to say in. Don't need to say
Okay.
in. Okay. I will try my best next time.
Okay.
Okay, so I will say everything to you that you said to me, so you understand, all right? Last week, I had an exam in criminal law, but I didn't do very well. However, I will try to do my best next time.
To do my best. Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, Tuk Lin. Cho Zhang. Hello, Cho Zhang.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Cho Zhang. Whenever you are ready, please. One thing that you did this week.
So last week I got a big examinations to arrange our classes again, and fortunately my grades was not too bad, so I did not need to move on to a lower level.
Okay, so fortunately, my grades weren't too bad. Okay, fortunately, my grades were not too bad. I think you said was not too bad. It's were not too bad because grades is plural. Okay, so you need to use were.
Yes.
Okay, so fortunately, my grades weren't too bad. What is your next sentence, Cho Zhang? Say it again, please.
So I did not need to move on to a lower level.
Ah, so I didn't or did not need to move to a lower level. I did not need to move to a lower level. Does that make sense, Cho Zhang?
Okay.
Okay, so Cho Zhang, I'm very happy for you. Okay, that's good. Good. I'm glad you didn't have to move to a lower level. That's
Thank you.
great. That's good. Okay. All right, Tone, are you ready?
Can you tell me again what are we going to do?
Okay, so what we are doing is you have to tell me one thing that you have done or one thing that has happened to you this week.
Okay. This week, okay. My class has a test this week.
This week, my class had a test. Yes.
Can I say okay? Like next week we'll have a championship to attend. So this week, me and my friends practice
This week, my friends
Friends.
and I. This week, my friends and I.
have
Yeah.
practiced basketball a lot. So,
Right.
So we could
Yes.
win the championship next week.
Okay, good. Perfect sentence. Okay.
Right.
This week, my friends and I practice basketball a lot, so we could win the championship next week. Okay, that's perfect tone. Perfect. Okay, good use of tense. Okay, you got all the tenses were correct. Very good. Okay, so good luck with the basketball championship next week. I hope it goes well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Bhutan, your turn, please.
Yes. Yesterday I have a basketball tournament in my university. So
Yes.
me and my friend in my class, we got a champion in that tournament.
Okay, so I'll just stop you there. So it is always my friends and I. My friends and I. It is never me and my friends. Okay, it's never me and my friends. And the way to know that is you always just forget about your friends and just think about if the sentence is just about you. Okay, so you don't say yesterday me had a basketball tournament. You say yesterday I had a basketball tournament, of course. So it's always my friends and I had a basketball tournament, or my friends and I went to the movie. I went to the movie. It's never me went to the movie. So that is how you remember that. Does that make sense, Bhutan?
Yes.
Okay, so please tell me again about, so yesterday, so my friends and I had a basketball tournament. What happened next?
And we win the tournament.
You won the tournament. Remember past tense.
Oh.
You won the tournament. We won the tournament.
And
Yeah.
we won the tournament.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's great. That's great, Bhutan. Okay, that's good English. Okay, and congratulations on winning the tournament too. Okay, Knock. I see you've just arrived. How are you, Knock?
Good, I suppose.
You don't sound too sure, Knock.
Yeah,
If you say English like that, it makes it sound like you are not very good. Is that what you mean to say?
yes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean your English is
I-
correct. Your English is correct, by the way. But if you say it like that to someone, they
Yeah,
will instantly say, "Oh, what's wrong? What's the matter?" If you say good, I suppose, it sounds like it's not really very good.
yeah,
Okay.
actually,
Okay.
it
Yeah,
didn't.
actually, yes. Why? What has happened, Knock? What has happened?
I had to prepare for the exams next week, so I was up to my eyes in homework, and I also burned the midnight oil to study math, but
Yes.
I was still like I still struggled with catching on math lessons. They were
Okay.
too difficult to comprehend.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mark. Okay. So again, very good use of idiomatic phrases. Okay. You are up to your eyes. Okay. So everyone, so you might have heard Knock say she was up to her eyes in homework. Okay. It means she was almost drowning in homework. So that is a good idiomatic expression when you are very busy with something. I was up to my eyes in schoolwork. I was up to my eyes in housework. And also Knox said that she burned the midnight oil. This is an idiomatic phrase that means you stay up very late. You stay up very late, maybe all night to do your work. I had to burn the midnight oil to try to catch up with my homework. Okay, Knox, so then the last part of what you said to me, there were a couple of words not quite correct. You said, what did you say to me? Can you remember?
Like I told you that math was kind of difficult
Yes,
to
math is very
comprehend.
difficult. Math is very difficult to comprehend. Yeah, good. Good sentence. Yeah. Okay, so you still have a problem with math.
Yes,
Okay, so have you had the test yet, or are you having it?
like I'm going to have a test next week
Okay, when? Next week, is it? Okay,
on
what day?
Thursday.
On Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Okay, Knock. Well, good luck for that. Okay, I
Yeah.
wish you all the best.
I hope
Okay.
so.
Okay, I know. Maybe I understand very well. When I was at school, math was not very strong for me either. I had to do a lot of extra work after class, so I understand exactly what you are going through. Okay, thank you, Nok. Okay, Zung Ha.
Yes.
Okay, Zung Ha.
So last week I just had my first midterm test and
Yes.
it wasn't going well as I expected.
Okay, it didn't go
It didn't
as
go
well. Didn't
as
go
well
as well as I
as I
expected.
expected.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. So how many subjects did you have a test in?
I have a test in about 9 or 10 subjects, I think. About 9 or 10, yes.
Can you hear me, Zung Ha?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, can you tell me again, please, how many subjects? Sorry, the internet froze just for a moment.
I think I have about 9 or 10 subjects I have to do exam in.
9 or 10, that is a lot of subjects.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Okay, out of all those subjects, which ones are your favorites?
My favorite, I think, is math. Math, I think, is my favorite
Okay.
Because it's easy for me to learn.
Okay. Okay. So both Nok and I are very jealous. Okay, Zung Ha, of you, because we are not so good at math. Okay. Okay, thank you, Zung Ha. Okay, and the last one for this, Hakan. Hakan.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, Hakan, whenever you are ready, please.
Okay. So last week I had a history test, and
Yes.
because it was too hard, so I random answers for 10 questions. But
sorry, Hakan, can you say that again? What did you do? Because it was so hard, you...
yeah, like I have ABCD, so I random
Yes.
answer for about 10 questions. Yeah, I want to say
okay.
that.
Okay, so you would say, because it was so hard, I had to guess the answer.
Yeah, I had to.
Okay. Guess is the word. Do you know the word? Guess.
Yes, I know it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I had to guess the answer for about 10 questions.
I had to guess the answer for 10 questions.
Okay.
And after the test, I checked those guess questions.
Yes.
And I was surprised that I got 5 out of 10 was true.
Oh, wow. Really? 5 out of 10. That's great.
Yes.
That's very good, Hakan. Okay, so you guessed correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I thank you for reminding me. So congratulations, Hakan. I'm glad you got 5 out of 10 of the guess questions. I think next week, I have a special strategy for how to guess questions. All right, I will tell you about this next week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have a special tip. If you have a multi-choice question and you are not sure of the answer, I have a strategy that can help you with this, that will
Okay.
help you guess the correction. I will, and that it doesn't take too much time either. Okay, so I will tell you next week. Actually, I will write this down now. Make a note of it. How to guess questions. This works in English or Vietnamese or any language, by the way. Okay, not just English. Okay, so thank you all for doing that exercise. So the main thing I noticed from this exercise is that you have to remember to talk in the past tense when you were talking about things that happened to you yesterday, last week, last night. Okay, so you use words like I had, okay, not I've got. I had, I did, I went, all those past tense words. Please remember to use those. And Bhutan, which one of these is correct? Bhutan, my friends and me, or my friends and I played basketball. Which one is correct?
My friend and I.
Correct. Very good. Okay. And you remember that by just thinking, I played basketball. So my friends and I played basketball. Okay. You never say me played basketball or me had rice for lunch. Okay. Any questions about any of that? All right. Let's look at this week's test. All right. Please take a minute to look at this test. I'm going to do this with each of you individually. All right. So you have to match the first part of the sentence with the correct second part of the sentence here. Okay, this should be fairly easy, I think, for most of you. This should be quite easy. This is not a difficult test. Okay, so Knock, I'm going to start with you in about a minute. Okay, so Knock, then Bhutan, then Tone, then Hakan. So Knock, when you are ready, please let me know.
Yes. Wait a minute.
Okay, so you should be able to do this as you go. You shouldn't need to look at all of them in advance. All right, you should, especially you, Knock. Your English should be good enough. You should be able to choose the correct answer as you go through it. I don't think these are too confusing. You should be able to pick the correct answer quite easily.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, Knox, please start reading.
There will be an inquiry into the behavior of his resignation.
Of his resignation, okay, is how it is pronounced. Resignation. Okay, resignation. Do you know what resignation means, Knock?
Like someone
When
they volunteer to quit a job.
correct, exactly. They volunteer to quit the job. Exactly right. Okay, I will tell you at the end how many you got correct. Okay, so number 2, please, Knock. Okay, are you ready, Knock?
Oh, I forgot to turn on the microphone.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
So,
number 2.
okay, number 2, people don't realize the health consequences of heavy drinking.
Okay.
Number
Yep.
3, tourists aren't familiar with the American custom of tipping 20% in restaurants.
Okay. Number 4.
Number 4, the shop was shut down for the duration of 5 to 10 years.
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Number 5, oh, you should try to get out the habit of adding salt to your food.
Okay, keep going. Number 6.
Number 6, the report assesses the potential impact of climate change. Number 7, we have seen the increasing political influence of the police at the march.
Yes, keep going.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so you have to go fast, Knock, okay? Have to go
Okay.
fast with this.
Number 8, he works away from home most of the time. Number 9, you pay up the loan gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years. Again. And
Sorry,
10,
sorry, what was number 9, Knock? Sorry.
you pay up the loan gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years. Wait.
And the last, okay, number 10. Number 10.
10, many were surprised by the timing of trade unions. Right.
Okay, that is your choice. Okay, thank you, Knock. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 out of 10. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I will tell you at the end, I will tell you the correct answers. Bhutan, please. Bhutan.
I'm not done.
Okay, you have to go as fast as that. That doesn't matter, Bhutan. Please go anyway.
There will be an inquiry into the behavior of
Okay, you just have to guess, Bhutan. If you're not sure, just guess, because this, I will explain it to you at the end, what the correct answers are. So don't worry if you're not sure.
people don't realize the huge consequences of heavy drinking.
Okay, sorry, Bhutan, what was number 1? What was number 1?
I'm not done yet.
Sorry, number 1, you're not sure?
Yes,
Okay, number 3 then, please.
tourists aren't familiar with the American custom of tipping 20% in restaurants.
Okay, number 4.
The shop was shut down for the duration of 5 to 10 years.
Okay, number 5.
You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food.
Okay, number 6.
The report, how can I say that?
Assesses assesses.
The report assesses of potential impact of trade union. We have seen the increasing political influence of the police at the march. He worked away from home most of his
Sorry, number 8 is he works away from home most.
of his resignation.
Okay, keep going.
You
Two
pay
more.
up the loan gradually over a period.
Okay, quickly, Bhutan, choose one.
Of heavy drinking.
Okay, and last one.
Many were surprised by the timing of the time.
Okay, so you got 4 out of 10, Bhutan. 4 out of 10. I will tell you the correct answers at the end. Okay, and again, please don't worry if you are not sure about some of these words. I will explain them. Okay, Tone.
There will be an inquiry into the behavior of his resignation.
Sorry, I didn't hear that, Tone. Sorry, what was number 1?
There will be an inquiry into the behavior of his resignation.
Okay, number 2.
People don't realize the health consequences of heavy drinking.
Number 3.
Tourists are unfamiliar with the American custom of tipping 20% in the restaurants.
Number 4.
The shop was shut down for the duration of the war.
Number 5.
You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food.
Number 6.
The report assesses the potential impact of climate change.
Number 7.
We have seen the increasing political influence of trade unions.
Number 8.
He works away from home most of the time.
9.
The pay of the loan gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years.
Okay, and number 10.
Many were surprised by the timing of the police at the march.
Okay, that is 8 out of 10, Tone. Okay, 8 out of 10, not bad. 8 out of 10. Okay, Hakan.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, Hakan, are you ready?
I think okay.
Okay, number 1.
There will be an inquiry into the behavior of his resignation. People don't realize the health consequence of heavy drinking.
Number 3.
Tourists are unfamiliar with the American custom of tipping 20% in restaurant. The shop was shut down for the duration of 5 to 10 years. You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food. The report assesses the potential impact of trade unions. We are increasing political influence of the police at March. He works away from home most of the time. Well, you pay off gradually over a period of climate change. Mary was surprised by the timing of the war. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All right, that was 4 out of 10, Hakan.
Yes,
Okay.
I know.
You're 4, okay. But you went quickly and you were decisive, okay, with your choices. So that is one good thing. All right. So you finish, if this was a timed test, you finish inside the correct time, Hakan. So that's good. All right, Zungha. sorry. So Zung Ha is next, then Cho Zhong, then Tuk Lin, then Michael, then Paula. Okay, Zung Ha.
Yes, there will be an inquiry into the behavior of his resignation. People don't realize the health consequence of heavy drinking. Tourists aren't familiar with the American custom of tipping 20% in restaurants. The shop was shut down for the duration of trade unions. You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food. The report assesses the potential impact of climate change. We have seen the increasing political influence of the war. He works away from home most of the time. You pay off the rent gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years. Many were surprised by the timing of the police at the march.
Okay, that was 6 out of 10, Zung Ha. Okay, not bad. 6 out of 10. Thank you. Cho Zhang. Cho Zhang.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Cho Zhang, whenever you are ready, please.
There will be an inquiry into the behavior of the police at the march. People don't realize the health consequences of heavy drinking. Tourists aren't familiar with the American custom of tipping 20% in restaurants. The shop was shut down for the duration of the war. You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food. The report assesses the potential impact of climate change. We have seen the increasing political influence of trade unions. He works away from home most of his resignations. You pay off the loan gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years. Many were surprised by the timing of the time.
Okay, that was 8 out of 10, Cho Zhang. 8 out of 10. Not bad. Thank you. Okay, 3 more to go. Tuk Lin, please.
Okay. There will be an inquiry into the behavior of the police at the march. People don't realize the health consequence of heavy drinking. Tourists aren't familiar with the American custom of tipping 20% in restaurants. The shop was shut down for the duration of the time. You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food. The report assesses the potential impact of climate change. We have seen the increasing political influence of trade union. He worked away from home most of his resignation. You pay off the loan gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years. Many were surprised by the timing of the war.
Okay, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not bad, Tuk Lin. 7 out of 10. Okay, Michael.
Yeah. So do I start?
Okay, whenever you're ready, Michael.
Okay. There will be an inquiry into the behavior of his resignation. People don't realize the health consequence of heavy drinking. Tourists aren't familiar with the American custom of tipping 20% in restaurants. The shop was shut down for the duration of the war. You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food. The report assesses the potential impact of the trade unions, we've seen the increasing policy. Oh, I mean, wait, can I change the answer?
To which one? Which one?
Or is the shop was shut down for the duration of the climate change, and 6 where is the report assess the potential impact of the war.
Okay, number 7.
7 while increasing political influence of we've seen the increasing political influence of trade unions. We work away from home most of the time. We play up the long graduate over a period of 5 to 10 years. Many were surprised by the timing of the police at the march.
Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Michael. Thank you. 6. Okay, Paula.
Okay.
Are you ready, Paula? No pressure. You are last. No one has got 10 out of 10 yet. Okay.
There will be an inquiry into the behavior of the police at the march. People don't realize the health consequence of heavy drinking. Tourists aren't familiar with the American custom of tipping 20%. The shop was shut down for the duration of the war. You should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food. The report assesses the potential impact of climate change. You have seen the increasing political influence of trade unions. He works away from home most of the time. You pay out the loan gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years, and many were surprised by the timing of his resignation.
Okay, Paula, 10 out of 10. Well done. Okay, 10 out of 10. That's great. Okay, everyone. So I will run through the answers again. If you were listening to Paula, you would have heard the correct answers, but I will go through and I will explain some of the words. I know some of you might not be too familiar with 1 or 2 of the words, and there were just 1 or 2 examples of incorrect pronunciation that I heard. So number 1, there will be an inquiry into the behavior of the police at the march. All right. Inquiry means you look into something. You look into why something happened. Number 2, I think everybody got correct. Well done. Everyone got number 2 correct. People don't realize the health consequences of heavy drinking. Number 3, also everybody got correct. The American custom of tipping 20% in restaurants. By the way, Tuk Lin.
Yes.
Yes. Is there a custom of tipping in restaurants in Hanoi?
I think no.
No, you don't have to tip. You don't have to tip
Yes.
anything. Okay. Same in New Zealand, by the way. If anyone ever come to New Zealand, you don't have to tip. All right. Of course, the staff would love you to give them money. All right. If you give them money, they won't say no, but you don't have to. All right? Same in Australia, by the way. Anyone come to New Zealand or Australia, don't have to tip. Okay, so everyone got number 3 correct. That is good. Number 4 was a little bit tricky. The shop was shut down for the duration of the war is the correct answer. Okay. Of 5 to 10 years, a couple of people said, doesn't quite fit the sentence. The shop was shut down for the duration of 5 to 10 years. Isn't quite correct English. It must be for the duration of the war. Okay, number 5. How many got this correct? Actually, I think everyone got this correct as well. Number 5, you should try to get out of the habit of adding salt to your food. That's good advice. Number 6, the report assesses, most people got this correct, the potential impact of climate change. The report assesses. To assess something is to try and work out what will happen. Okay, if you are assessed in something, okay, it is a measurement of how well or how badly you will do at something. So, for example, an English exam is an assessment of your ability in English. So a report assesses, it means it tries to put a value on or tries to work out the potential impact of climate change. All right, potential is a synonym for possible. The possible impact of climate change, potential. Potential and possible are things that might happen, that maybe will happen. So those words can be used as synonyms. Number 7. Just trying to check. About half of you got this one right. We've seen the increasing political influence of trade unions. Trade unions. Number 8. Most of you got correct. He works away from home most of the time. Number 9, about half of you got this correct. You pay off the loan gradually over a period of, and period tells you, of course, that it must be something to do with time. All right, there are only 2 answers there that mention time. One is of the time, and you can't use that because you just used that for number 8. So it must be of 5 to 10 years. You pay off the loan gradually over a period of 5 to 10 years. The word period gives you a clue. The answer must be something to do with time. And the last one, many were surprised by the timing of his resignation. Resignation is how that word is pronounced. Resignation. Bhutan.
Yeah.
Okay, Bhutan. Do you know what resignation means? Did you hear what Nock said about this?
I don't know.
Okay, resignation means when you give up your job or your position in something. For example, you might resign from the basketball team, or you might resign from your job. Does that make sense, Bhutan?
Yes.
Okay, so resign is the verb, resignation is a noun. So when you resign from something, it means you leave. And it's usually something to do with either a work or some club or team you might belong to. I'm trying to think, for example, people who, if they leave their marriage, for example, they don't resign from their marriage. You use the word divorce there, of course. So it's the word resign and resignation is only for certain situations and generally to do with something you belong to, such as your work, your office, a team or a club. Are there any questions about that? Okay, so congratulations to Paula again. Paula was 10 out of 10. Cho Zhang. Cho Zhang?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Cho Zhang, you got the first 7. Absolutely correct. Okay, I thought you were going to get 10. All right, but then you got number 8 wrong. He works away from home most of the time. Okay. Okay, Cho Zhang?
Yes.
Okay, but very close, Cho Zhang. So you did very well. 8 out of 10. And also Tone got 8 out of 10. All right. So are there any questions before we leave this? Any questions? Duration, by the way, here, this word here, duration, is another word that has something to do means something to do with time. Something to do with time. Duration means how long something will last for. For example, the duration of this English lesson is 90 minutes. The duration of this English language is 90 minutes. So it's usually something to do with time, duration. Okay. All right. What I'm going to quickly do now before we go on to our writing exercise is, mind you of the words and phrases you should know when you are talking about graphs, charts, tables, maps, and diagrams. Okay. Zung-ha. Zung-ha.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Zung-ha, can you please read these synonyms for me?
Shows, illustrates, describes, demonstrates, reveals.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you, Zung-ha. Okay, perfect reading. Okay, so usually you will say this graph or chart or table or map or diagram shows or illustrates or describes or demonstrates or reveals one of those words. So these are the only words you need to know for this first sentence, okay? These are the only ones you need to know. Of these words, probably illustrates and demonstrates are the more academic or formal ones, rather than shows. Shows is not so formal or academic. It is more simple, but it still works. So in the first sentence, you should use one of these 5 words. And those are the only words you need to know. They are all synonyms. They all mean the same things. All right. And then in the next part of the sentence, of course, the graph shows what, or who, or where, or when. The rest of your sentence will go on to describe one of those, depending, of course, what the graph or chart or table is about. The second sentence or paragraph, remember, is an overview of what the graph or chart or table shows. Okay, it is a summary in 1 or 2 sentences. And usually you can start it off using these words. It can be clearly seen that. And then you go on to describe the main points. But again, if you can please remember these words, it can be clearly seen that the number of people injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam declined over the last 20 years. Okay, it can be clearly seen that. This is a good phrase to remember to start your second paragraph with. All right. As for the body paragraphs, when describing a graph, you use these words. These are the only words, again, that you really need to know. Right, Tuk Lin, can you read these words for me, please? Tuk Lin.
Okay. Rise, increase, climb, goes up.
Okay, Tuk Lin. So you are missing the S of each of these words. Okay, so please say it again, but remembering to include the S this time.
Okay. Rise, increase.
Rises. So rises.
Rises.
Yep.
Rises.
Yep.
Increases.
Next one. Increases.
Increase.
Yep. Increases. Yeah. Next one. Okay,
Climbs.
so it's not climbses because there is no E there. Okay, so they were rises and increases because there was an E, but there is no vowel here between the B and S, so it is climbs. Okay, next one.
Climbs. Goes up.
Correct. Okay, So these words are all synonyms, okay, for something that goes up. So rises, increases, climbs, goes up. All right. Chou Zhang.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Chou Zhang, can you read the next set of synonyms, please?
Falls, decreases, declines, drops, goes down.
Good. Or doesn't change. Okay. So falls, decreases, declines, drops, goes down. Okay. Tuk Lin.
Yeah.
Okay, Tuk Lin. So before, remember I was saying about normally before a vowel, you pronounce the E. Okay, English being the inconsistent language that it is, okay, very annoying language that it is, with a word like declines, you don't pronounce the E, okay? Okay, so the word is declines, not decliners, okay? You would think if English was consistent, then these words should all be pronounced the same at the ending. Rises, increases. This word should be decliners, but it's not. Okay, very annoying. I know, very annoying. Okay, English, as I'm sure you know now, is very inconsistent, and you just have to learn the word. I'm afraid you just have to recognize the word. So this word here is declines. Norm declines. It declines. So you pronounce it to rhyme with climbs. Declines. Same sound.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chou Zhang. All right. And Hakan. Hello, Hakan.
Hello.
Okay, Hakan, can you please read the next set of synonyms, please?
Sorry, I forgot to turn on my microphone.
Sure.
You mean drop, right? Or does it change?
Yes, doesn't change. Yeah.
Or doesn't change, remain at the same level, remain stable.
Okay, good. Okay, so these are the phrases you need to know for when something doesn't change, for when the line on the graph maybe just goes in a straight line, doesn't go up, doesn't go down, doesn't rise, doesn't fall, doesn't increase, it doesn't decrease. It remains at the same level or remains stable. Okay. Knock. What is the highest point of a graph called?
A peak.
The peak, correct. Highest part of a graph is called the peak, and the lowest part of a graph is called?
The lowest point.
The lowest point, okay? The lowest point. The lowest point of the graph, the lowest point occurred in 1960, for example. Or the number of people injured peaked in 1980. Okay, you use the word peaked because you were talking about past tense, so you put the ed on the end. Okay, when you are looking at figures, the speed of change also matters. So you should say how fast, rapidly, or quickly, or how slowly, gradually, steadily, the changes happen. Okay, so obviously you can have fast change, rapid change, quick change. All these mean the same. Okay, slowly, gradually, and steadily also all mean the same. There's often an order to the changes. For example, Tuk Lin, you are familiar with this abbreviation? Tuk Lin? Okay, can you see where the arrow is?
Example?
Yes, correct. E.g. Okay, so if you were reading this out aloud, you would just say e.g. E.g. EG. Okay. Bhutan. Bhutan.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you familiar with this, Bhutan?
Yes.
EG. Okay. What does it mean, Bhutan? What does EG mean?
That mean example.
For example. For example. Okay. For example. And as I was just saying to Tuk Lin, you just pronounce it EG. EG. The rise was preceded by a drop. Okay, that means preceded means something that happens before. Okay, the rise was preceded by a drop. That means before maybe the line in the graph goes up, it dropped down. So preceded by means something that happened earlier. Our English lesson this afternoon was preceded by lunch. Our English lesson this afternoon was preceded by lunch. That means lunch came before our English lesson. So preceded means something that happened earlier. Does that make sense to you, Tuk Lin?
Yes.
Okay, so like I say, this English class was preceded by lunch. That means we had lunch before the class started. This word, by the way, you will also hear often a very similar word, which is proceeded. Okay, proceeded, which means something quite different. Proceeded means to go. Okay, we proceeded to go to the shops. Okay, it's a formal way of saying to go somewhere. We proceeded to go to Hoi An for our holiday. It means we went to Hoi An for our holiday. So proceeded and preceded are two different words with two different meanings. So please try not to get them confused, but they sound very similar. Okay, and this example here, followed by a decline. This one is a little bit easier to understand, okay? The rise was followed by a decline. It means the graph goes up, then it goes down. All right, and just other ways of saying numbers. Numbers can be boring. So if you're saying in 1960, it was 50%, in 1965, it was 55%, in 1970, it was 70%. Instead of just saying it was all the time, you can say went from. So you can say in 1960, it went from 50% to 65%. Okay, so you say went from instead of it was, it was, it was. Does that not make sense to anyone? Is anyone unsure about that? It's just a different way of saying it was. But it's good to know how to say things differently because it will show to any examiner that your vocabulary is good, that you know other ways of saying the same thing. Are there any questions about any of this? Okay. Let's go back to our old friend, the graph. Okay, so we've looked at this over the last couple of weeks, enough times, I think. We're now going to look at this, graph number 2. Okay, Michael.
Yes.
What does the x-axis measure in graph number 2, do you think?
X-axis.
The x-axis, okay? Remember, the x-axis is this axis, the vertical line, okay?
number of people on millions.
Correct. Well done, Michael. The number of people in millions. Thank you. Okay. Bhutan. Bhutan.
Yes.
Okay. What does the y-axis measure? Remember, the y-axis is the horizontal line. What does it measure? Or what does it show us?
It's a year.
Sorry, Bhutan, what was that?
It's a the year of
It measures, it shows us the number of years, the number of years. Okay. What, Bhutan, what is the interval between each of these years? What is the interval? In other words, how many years between each of these years?
it's about 20 years.
Correct. The interval between each of these is 20 years. The interval is another way of saying how many years. The interval is 20 years. All right, these words here, again, most of you will know them, okay? They are verbs and adverbs and adjectives to talk about how quickly or how slowly the lines change and in what direction, whether they go up or down. Okay, again, just to remind you, the x-axis is the vertical axis, the line that goes up. The y-axis is the horizontal axis, the line that goes across. Okay. This line here, the dotted line, shows the number of people in Vietnam who are injured every year in traffic accidents. It's the same, by the way, as this line we've been looking at the last couple of weeks. But now we have two different lines. All right. This line is the number of police officers supervising traffic in Vietnam. Okay. And this line here is the number of people who own cars. So, very quickly, can you please tell me, Paula?
Yeah.
Okay, can you please, looking at these lines, can you please give me one conclusion from looking at these lines? Just one.
The number of people in Vietnam who are injured declined as the number of car consumption increased.
Good. That's very good. That is one conclusion. Thank you, Paula. So Paula said the number of people injured in traffic accidents, this line here, declined as the number of cars increased. Okay, that's good. Thank you, Paula. Tuk Lin.
Yes.
Can you give me another conclusion, please, looking at these lines? So did you hear what Paula said? So Paula
Yes.
said,
Okay.
okay, the number of people injured declined or got less, while as the number of cars went up. Can you give me another conclusion, please?
I think people have more awareness about the
Okay, it has to be a little bit more factual than that. Okay, you have to, okay, like Paula's one was. So Paula says, as this declined, the number of cars went up. Okay, so she didn't say anything about awareness or anything. She just looked at what was happening with the lines. So can you tell me something else that is happening with the lines on the graph?
the increase of the police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising. I think so.
Okay, can you say that again, please?
I think it's the increase of the number of the police official surprising traffic
Okay.
in Vietnam.
Okay. So I think what you are trying to say to me is, as the number of police officers supervising traffic increases, okay,
Yes.
the number
Yes.
of people injured in traffic accidents goes down. All right.
Yes.
So that is the sort of conclusion you need to draw from the graph. As the number of police officers supervising traffic increases, all right, the number of people injured goes down.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense, Tuklin?
Yes.
Okay, I think this should be easy for you. You are good at maths. Okay, so this should be easy. All right. Okay, Bhutan.
Yes.
Okay, Bhutan, can you give me one simple, one simple fact from this graph? One simple fact, please. There are several to choose from. Give me one.
In 1980,
Yes.
is the highest year people in Vietnam has injured.
Okay, so you are on the right track, Bhutan. That's good. Okay, just need to change the English a little bit. So in 1980, okay, in 1980, you would say about 4.4 million people were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay, Bhutan?
Yes.
In 1980, about 4.4 million people were injured in traffic accidents in Vietnam. Okay. This was the most people injured. Okay. This was the most people injured over a period of 60 years.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Bhutan?
Yes.
Okay, because I got 60 years because the graph covers from 1960 to 2020. Okay, 60 years. All right. Here you can see the peak. Remember, this is a peak. So the most people were injured over a period of 60 years in 1980, when about 4.4 million people were injured. All right, so I hope all of you, the rest of you, have got the idea of how to describe the things happening in this graph. All right, and the last thing we're going to do now, I'll just quickly, very quickly, remind you of this. Some of you will remember we did this some time ago. I think it was last year, to answer part 1 graph questions. Remember the POT acronym. And remember, an acronym is where you use letters, okay? Usually the first letters of something to remind you of the order in which you need to do things. Okay, that's a little bit complex, I know, but hopefully this will explain it. So to answer part 1 graph questions, the first thing you have to do is paraphrase the title of the graph. Okay, paraphrase begins with P. The second thing you must do is write an overview or summary of what the graph shows. Okay, overview starts with O. The next thing you have to do to finish your answer is to write 2 detailed paragraphs. 2, of course, starts with T, so you end up with the acronym POT. Okay, POT stands for paraphrase, overview, 2 detailed paragraphs. Does that make sense, Bhutan?
Yes.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So if I say to you, Bhutan, ha- if I say to you, how do you use pot to answer this question? Okay. What does the P in pot stand for?
Paraphrase.
Okay. What does the O in pot stand for?
Overview.
Correct. And what does the T stand for?
Too detailed.
Okay, to detailed paragraphs. So this is how you remember how to answer these questions. You just think to yourself, pot, which is easy to remember. Pot, paraphrase, overview, two detailed paragraphs. So next week, all right, I won't start on this now because we're going to be running out of time in about 9 minutes. So next week, we're going to do the writing, all right? I was going to give it to you as homework, but I'm sure you will be happy to know, I know a lot of you have a lot of homework already. Isn't that right, Paula?
Yeah, but
Yeah, you have. Sorry, Paula, you were going to say?
no, I think it's okay.
Yeah, because I don't want you, as Knox said, I don't want you burning the midnight oil, okay, to do extra homework for this course. So next week, this is what we will do. Okay, I will get you to write this and I will correct your writing. Okay, I think I've said to you before, I think Vietnamese students work much harder than students in Western countries. And I think that must be very difficult and stressful for many of you, although I know you are used to it. But even so, I don't want you to be up to your eyes in too much homework. So we will do this next week. What we will do instead to finish off is we will very quickly look at where's it gone? Okay. All right, very quickly, we're going to look at, I hope everyone can see this. Can everyone see work vocabulary? Can you see that, Paula?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so very quickly, just for the last 5 minutes or so, we're just going to go through some vocabulary associated with work. Okay, Paula, can you please read for me the first few sentences down to clothes?
I do a job share with a friend in a boutique and I enjoy it. I like working with customers. Unfortunately, it's only temporary work, but one of the perks of the job is I get discount on the clothes.
Okay, good reading. Thank you, Paula. Okay, so everyone, these are very common English phrases, so it's good to become familiar with them. Job share is where you share a job with somebody else, with a colleague. Okay, maybe you both work part-time. You share one job. Okay, a boutique is normally a shop that sells fashion clothing for women. Boutique that sells fashion clothing for ladies or women. Okay, temporary means something that only happens for a limited time. It's not permanent. Temporary and permanent are opposites. Okay, a perk of the job is slang language for an extra benefit that you get from doing a job. A perk of the job. Okay, knock.
Yes.
Okay, Knock, can you please read the next paragraph?
Like, do you have any career plans yet? Yes, I would like to be my own boss one day. I'm interested in programming and I would like to create apps for myself and for other companies. I know being self-employed would be a challenge, but the idea of doing a 9 to 5 job doesn't appeal to me at all.
Okay, great reading, Knock. So 9 to 5 job, I'm sure you know what the other words mean. Just a 9 to 5 job in Western countries just means a job with regular hours. 9 to 5 job. If you do a 9 to 5 job, it means you do a job with regular hours. Okay. It can refer to starting at 9 o'clock and finishing at 5 o'clock. But these days, this expression has come to mean just doing a job with regular hours. It means you go to the office at the same time every day and you come home at the same time every day. So if you have a 9 to 5 job, you have every day, you work the same amount of time. Okay, Putan.
Here,
Okay, Putan, can you please read the last paragraph? Thank you.
what do you see yourself doing in 10 years' time? I would hope to be working not a high-powered job, but I'm quite a creative person, so something where I can work with my hands would be nice, as long as I'm not stuck behind a desk doing something boring in a dead-end job. I would be happy.
Okay, good reading, Putan. Very good. So high-powered job means an important job. High-powered means something important. Okay, work with my hands mean you use your hands to do something. Okay, some people like to work with their hands. Being stuck behind a desk is a phrase which means and usually means some sort of office job. If you are stuck behind a desk all day, means you have some job in an office. Some people don't like that. And a dead end job, okay, is a job that doesn't go anywhere. Means it doesn't lead to a promotion, maybe, or it doesn't maybe lead to a more interesting job. Maybe you could say something like, what's an example of a dead-end job? Maybe driving a bus is a dead-end job. Okay, it means it doesn't change. Every day you do the same thing. You drive the bus. Okay, it never changes. So that maybe is one example of a dead-end job. Although maybe driving a bus is a bit more interesting than that because maybe the traffic changes every day. Okay, that's the end of the lesson for today, everyone. Can you turn your cameras on so I can say goodbye? Hakan, you are hiding in the dark again. I can't see. Oh, there you are. Nice to see you, Hakan.
Yeah, because sometimes turns camera, my computer is lag.
Okay. All right. Okay. So before we leave, Cho Zhang, are you still there? I can see your ceiling, Cho Zhang. I can't see you. Oh, there you are. Okay. Nice to see you. Okay, Cho Zhang. So Cho Zhang, I'm very glad to hear you didn't have to go down a class at school. Okay. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay. Tuk Lin, I hope you have a better week next week with your law school. All right. I hope next week is better for you.
Okay,
All right. Okay. Paula, can you stay behind, please, a little bit? Okay. And Tone, can you stay behind too, please? I will talk to you about your writing. Okay. Anyone before we leave have any questions for me? Okay. Nice to see you all. Hope you all have a good week. And I will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Rick.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay. Paula.
Yes.
Don't sound